How goes it, YouTube? So we are out here today and we are just going to be talking on some knives. Now, I'm not a great expert on knives. In fact, pretty much I was telling the guy who's here with me who knows a lot about knives, that all the knives that I really own, minus my hunting knives, have kind of just come upon me by happenstance. I carry one with me usually. This is just a DeWalt. But he knows a lot more about knives than I do. So he's going to break down real quick what all these knives are, why he likes certain ones, what are their names, and all of that. So a little bit of the history behind them. So we're going to go ahead and get rolling with that.
Hey, I'm Henry. I've been collecting knives probably 12 to 15 years or so. Kind of got into it with my son. And here's a few, and I'll try to explain why I like them and how I, got into them. A lot of these knives, I just like them. That's no rhyme or reason to it. Here's a simple USA-made old-timer jack with 2 blades on it. Very popular knife. My daddy, granddaddy, great-granddaddy all carried the old-timer. Just like all y'all's daddy and granddaddy did out there in YouTube land. This here is a case side buster. It actually has a plow on it. Simple Delrin handles. Just made for the working man. Not a high-dollar knife. Just very simple. This here is an old-timer. USA made. This is a 3-blade Stockman. Extra blades come in handy around the farm or doing your work. This here is a case trapper. Again, it's 2 blades. It's USA made. This particular one was made in 1980, as it has all the stuff on the tang here to tell me that. It's bone handle. My understanding is the mountain men carried it. They always like to have 2 blades in case one broke. Whether that's true or not, I do not know. This is also a case trapper. This here has a lineman on it. I had bought this knife from my daddy because he was a retired lineman. This knife here is a Winchester Whittler. This was made in the USA. This one was made in 1991. Some of them will have the dates on them. Most of them do not. You just have to learn how to read the tang stamps and really educate yourself. But this one's 3-blade, but notice the main blade opens to your right. All 3 of these are Stockman, or 4 of them actually. The 3 just closed are Stockmans. This here, this is a German Boker out of Solingen, Germany. These knives were made popular by soldiers coming back from World War II. This is also a German Boker here. This is a folding hunter pattern. And this particular knife locks. Always want to move your fingers out the way when you're closing it. Learn that the hard way. Here's a couple Ford knives made by United Cutlery. These are not American made. I just like the Ford emblem, which I drive Ford, so I like them. This here was the Titusville Cutlery Company, who Queen actually made it. And that's got like the Hawk bill on it. Another working man's knife. This here is a Case Texas toothpick. This is a 5-inch knife here. They make them in a 4 and a 3-inch size also. I believe they make some different sizes other than that. But very popular pattern. Here we have a J.A. Hinkles. That's a German knife with a swing guard on it, which is also a lock back. Nice looking stag on there. And here's your popular Barlow. That's a German, J.A. Hinkles. Barlow's been a popular pattern ever since I can remember. That right there is a German Boker. That is a 4-blade Congress. You notice you have blades everywhere on that one. Have to be careful. This here is a Queen Muskrat. It has 2 blades that open the opposite direction. This is a Case Moose. Notice it has a different blade on each side. That's why it's called a Moose compared to this one being called a Muskrat with the same blades. These here, 3 knives right here, actually 4 knives are Great Easterns. They're a new company, only been around since 2006. They're taking the knife world by storm as far as the quality, and collectors love them. That beautiful stag on that knife. Alright, this is a Great Eastern Cutlery. They call it a pocket carver. Just released. You notice it has 3 blades, and they're all the same, and they're my Wharncliffe blades. And I feel like this is going to be a highly collectible knife here, since they have the same blades. Very unusual. That's what collectors like, unusual. This here is a Great Eastern calf pin, they call it. This is one of my everyday carry knives. I like it because it has a lock on it. It's a liner lock. Take it and close it. It also has a one-arm opener. You can pull it out your pocket and catch it on your pants, and it opens right up. And another thing I like about this, it has a little screwdriver built into it. It comes in handy. Not great, but it does come in handy sometimes. And I carry it out usually around the house when I'm out working getting dirty. This is another Great Eastern cutlery. This is a what they call a round's foot pattern, which is a 93. It has a similar to a hawk bill on the end. Good for cutting. And I've been carrying it. I like it also. You notice the blades turning black on me. That's that carbon steel. Takes a lot of carrying the carbon steel. You keep oil and wipe them down when you're done with them. Okay, I'm going to go to my deer skinning knives here. A friend of mine at work made this knife. This has got African sheep horn handles on it. He made the blade, cut it out of some kind of steel. I'm not exactly sure. He did some designing on the back of it. I went ahead and patinaed the blade myself. I took some white vinegar and wrapped it in a paper towel around the blade, and that's where that color comes from. That will keep it from rusting. Yes, here's an old-timer sharp finger. Good deer skinning knife. Been around a long time. Here's another knife one of my friends made. This has got spiral buffalo horn handles on it. He put a design on it too. This knife here I just picked up. A guy on Forged in Fire made this one. It's got Damascus steel on it. Pretty knife. Dynolux handles. That was new to me. Man-made material that's real strong and durable. Good fit. Here's a Case Ridgeback Hunter. Good deer cleaning knife. Especially for the money. Not very expensive here, about $40. And then over here we have our little tactical part. Assisted opening knives. I also carry this one. This is a SOG. And it's a lock back, which is a little different. Here you had the Kershaw Elite. Assisted opening. It's actually a frame lock, so that's how you depress the handle to make it shut. That's usually how they run, or they're a liner lock, like this book right here. And you close it with a liner lock. Move it out the way. Make sure your fingers are out the way. And this particular knife was made by Columbia River Knife and Tool under Ruger. And as you can see, it's got a little cylinder on it. But you got to match the little button on this one. Thumb stud and make it open. We can get it open. There you go. And it has a little serrated edge on it. It comes in handy. I'm scared to use it because if you ever cut yourself with it, it makes a mess. But it's handy for roping boxes.
All right, I'm going to run through some questions now, and he's just going to give some general answers. These are some answers so that I know, and these are some answers that maybe you'll help some of y'all out there that might want to start collecting knives or something. So what would be your favorite knife out of all these that you've brought here? What would be your favorite knife that you brought?
This Great Eastern Cutlery 43 Oregon Trapper. That's my favorite.
And why would that be your favorite knife?
Just the quality of it. The stag on it. Stag's my favorite as far as the handle material. One blade. I always like one blade knives. The only way that one would be better if it had a lock back on it, which I do not have any in the Great Eastern lock back right now. But any Great Eastern stag, I really like. They're just make awesome stag knives.
For anybody that would be looking to maybe get into knife collecting, kind of watching this video and thinking, oh, that's pretty cool, maybe I want to start trying that, what would be maybe some helpful recommendations or tips for anybody who's looking to get into it?
I would just start with what I like. If I see a knife I like, I would try to get it. Start inexpensive and just work your way up. And because the old timers here, they're fairly not very expensive, and as you come across the table, they get more expensive. So you talk about $25 to $30 on over here to $300. So you'd start with what you like and just learn from there.
And then for somebody who's maybe looking to get into it, what would you say is probably the best brand to start maybe trying to collect gun?
All right, well, personally, I like American-made stuff and the German stuff, but I would say Case. That's the most popular collected. That's a good place to start, and then you can branch out from there.
And why would Case be probably the best?
There's a lot of them out there. Cases everywhere. You can go to a hardware store, internet, any kind of shows. There's going to be a lot of Case knives there. They've been making knives since, I believe it was the late 1800s. So.
And one more question. What is probably the oldest knife on this table that you would think?
This Voos right here. That knife right there will be pushing 100 years old.
Thank you for your time, and thank you for coming to meet with me and teach me a little bit more about knives and teach anybody out there on YouTube land about knives. So,
thank you. I enjoyed it.
Alrighty, guys. I hope y'all learned a little bit something about knives. I know I sure did. So, as always, thanks for watching. See you outdoors. Love you guys. Alright, guys. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And check me out on Instagram. See y'all later.